Hi, this is Dean from Sentinel Soap. So in today's project I'm going to be making 2 loaves of soap. They're going to be exactly the same fragrance. The fragrance is 7 flowers. I've made this fragrance in soy wax votives, and I've actually made the soap when I had my retail shop, but I haven't made it in a video yet. So the fragrance actually consists of 7 floral fragrances. These are fragrances that you can buy online, and I've mixed them myself. This took me a really long time to make and get right, and I think I've got it perfect. So with a name like 7 flowers, you have to think of the colors of flowers. So I've got green, pink, and yellow. I'm also going to be adding some white titanium dioxide, just so the colors pop a little bit more, rather than having that clear look to them. This is my base. It's clear from Natural Candle Supply, and I've got my 2 molds. So let's get started. So I'm going to take my rubbing alcohol. This is the Australian one that I buy from Coles. And I've got some little votive jars here that I used to do my candles and things like that with. So what I'm going to do is just squirt in a little bit of rubbing alcohol to each one of them. So I'm going to take this tiny little spoon. I believe it's a 1/4, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a nice little size for what it is. I'm going to take my Micas. I'm going to take a good spoonful. Anyway, it is a fair bit of Mica, but I want these colors to really pop. Okay, so I'm going to do that with the other 2 as well. Okay, so then I'm going to take the cup, so we just stir it. Okay, so I have my 3 colors. Okay, so a lot of you don't see this process when I'm making my soap, but this is the crock pot that I use. You can see the water is boiling inside and the soap is still melting down. There's a fair bit of it at the bottom that's still solid. So I won't get too close, but you can see this is pretty hot, and I'll give you an idea of the temperature. It's 197 and my soap base is 140 currently. So it's still melting down. I'd probably get it to about 150 and that should be alright. Once it sort of gets to a point where most of it's gone to liquid, I turn this off and I just let it sit there for a minute. So my settings are on 2. So they're not on high. This is really quite a low heat considering this thing goes right up to 10. So that's the crock pot that I use. Okay, so all my soap base has actually melted and it's 147, which is 63 Celsius, and it's 100% completely melted right to the bottom. So from here, I'm going to add my white titanium dioxide to this. I'm not going to add a lot, I just want it to be a little bit more pastel white. I don't want a clear soap base for this, even though this is actually clear. I don't have any goat's milk at the moment. So I'm just putting a few drops of white in there. Okay, so we have white soap base. Because it is a clear base, the colors are just going to pop. They are really going to be quite bright. And I also should point out that because I normally only do 1 teaspoon for 1 kilogram, I'm actually using 2 teaspoons. So I put another lot of mica, another teaspoon of mica in each one of the colors. So because this is 2 kilograms in here and the loaf is 1 kilogram each, I'm going to add my fragrance to this right now rather than having to separate it into 3 different colors and then try it. So I'm going to put this on the scale, set it back to 0. So I need to add 2% to this, but because there's 2 kilograms, it would be 20 mils per kilogram, so I need to add 40 grams to this. So as you can see, because it's 7 different fragrances, it's actually turned the base to a yellow at the moment because most of that is fragrance sitting on top. You can see if I just poke down and pull up, it's white. So I've just got to blend this in. So I'm going to separate these into 3 different pots. So I worked out my measurements and it's 733 grams each pot. Okay, so now we have 3 pots, all with 733, and now I'm going to add my colours. Spray it. Okay, so here's my pink colour. So I'm going to get my rubbing alcohol and just spray inside the bottle to get the rest of it out. Beautiful, nice and bright. Spray. Okay, so my bases are starting to cool down rapidly, so I'm going to pour. Okay, so I'm just going to spray the top of that. The rest of my bases have actually gone jelly. I can't even get anything out of that. So I'm going to have to remelt those 3 colours and then I'll come back and I'll finish the top off. But I'm loving this already. This looks great. Okay, so I'm ready to pour the next layers. Spray the top of this. Okay, spray the top of that again. I'm just waiting for the green now. Really hope that turns out, but I won't know until tomorrow. So I'll be back tomorrow morning to unmold these. So it's about 10 hours later and I'm going to unmold these 7 flowers. That looks pretty cool. You can see down here that there's indentation where they didn't stick together properly. I'm hoping that's not going to be an issue. The rest of it looks good. I'll see what happens with the other one. Yeah, see it happen there too as well. Doesn't look pretty, but hopefully it won't impact too much on the bar. There's a big one there. So cut right into that corner. Alright, let's cut them up. Alright, so how amazing did this come out? How incredibly bright are those colours? I was not expecting the pink to be so dominant over everything else, but even the green and the yellow really do pop out still. I thought when I first poured it right at the bottom here, it was going to merge together, and I guess a little bit of it did, but still leaving its true color, which is really amazing. I'm still in awe about that pink. That just looks gorgeous. Wow, I'm really excited about that, and that's come out amazing. So what do you think? Did I get the colors right? Pink, yellow, green? Or should I have added a blue or a purple or something like that in there? Anyway, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.